Hey friends of the night, I'm happy you're here and to wish you an especially happy and great Pride Month. Yeah, just remember, no matter who you are, who you identify as, who you love, you're amazing just the way you are and don't let people tell you differently. And yeah, to celebrate Pride Month, I was thinking about doing a special Let's Play, and I'm gonna play a visual novel you will see in just about a minute, and it will be just here on YouTube, so it won't be over on Twitch, so it will be just a special Pride Month Let's Play here, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and yeah, stay happy, stay true to yourself, and see you around. The visual novel I'm going to stream is When the Night Comes, which is a really nice queer visual novel. You can actually play straight as well if you prefer that, but it also features lots of queer relationships, and I'm going to pursue one. Yeah, as with all visual novels, it's lots of text. I will, of course, as usual, try to voice everything. Or no, I will voice everything. So why the artwork is really nice, and yeah, it's really nice music as well. I think if I had to pick my favorite visual novel so far, it would be this one. That's why I decided on streaming that for Pride Month. Um, yeah, if you've, by the way, other recommendations on queer visual novels, feel free to recommend and just leave a comment. And yeah, really looking forward to that. So since I will voice everything, if you prefer that, you can also use this as kind of a podcast, so you can listen to the game and me talk, and it will still cover the whole story. Yeah, just one last thing before I begin is, as you maybe saw in the thumbnail, I already decided on who to romance, cause he's just very hot and cute, and he's a vampire. And I'm talking about Finn, so the guy down on the bottom right. And yeah, if you would prefer a different romance route, you can leave a comment, and maybe in the future I will come back and play that one as well. But for the time being, it will be the lovely Finn we gonna romance. So, without further ado, let's just start. Tell us your first name. It's Ethan, and my shore name is Everflight. So not my real one, obviously, but yeah, the one I tend to like to use as a last name in games. Choose your pronouns. I actually don't mind either he, him, or they, them, but I'm going for he, him for this game. When the night comes. Department of Enforcement Office of the Lieutenant General. You have been selected for immediate transfer and are authorized to report to the enforcement headquarters in Lunaris, Ezra. Please find your mission information and all other relevant documents enclosed. Once the information has been digested, we order that the documents are promptly destroyed. This information is highly classified, as are all details of your relocation. Upon arrival, please report to General Augustus Willenheim. Respectfully, Lieutenant General Harold Addington III. I arrive in Lunaris at dusk. I've been traveling for days. My feet are sore, my eyes tired, and all I can think about is how much I need a damn good sleep. I'm a hunter, and I've been called here by the Lieutenant General of Escria to lead an investigation. The matter is apparently urgent, and the rapid way in which I've been summoned is anything to go by. The things that you can hear about it in ghost stories and fables are all real, and it's my duty, my purpose, to protect humanity from those creatures that go bump in the night. There have been a series of particularly violent murders here in Lunaris lately, and the local enforcers, the agency that oversees us, can't seem to put their finger on who or what the culprit is. I was the most skilled hunter general in the previous town I was assigned to, but I eagerly welcomed the change of scenery. Hmm. Even if it does involve murder and a healthy dose of existential dread. Though, as I zoom further into the town, the feeling that washes over me is making me wonder if I made the right choice. As if I even really had one at all. Our lives are bound, and I live to serve. As hunters, we are the only ones equipped to deal with such monstrosities. Plucked from our families at a young age, we are told that we hold an incredibly rare talent, not only in passing the secretive initiation that gifts us with keen senses and empathetic skills, but also in possessing the mental fortitude, intellect, and obedience necessary to ensure our effectiveness and loyalty. I steer myself and wander aimlessly through the unusually narrow streets, unable to focus on much else other than the thought of a warm meal and a comfy bed. The only thing that distracts me from such thoughts is the way the sky begins to turn an inky, infinite black. Wisps of mist swirl around my ankles, seeping out from every crack and crevice. Flickers of magic are present within the smoky tendrils, and I can't help but wonder if my mind is playing tricks on me. I turn a sharp corner and see people running, scooping up small children, scrambling to get inside. I hear the sound of doors slamming and locking, echoing off the crooked stonework. Curtains are drawn, windows are closed, and then darkness, the abnormal kind. Although the stars are shining brightly at a glance, the crescent moon hangs low, neither offer much light. It's unsettling, to say the least. A chill rolls down my spine, and I walk faster, my sore feet continuing their protest. The instincts that have been part of me since my initiation kick in, and I have a feeling deep in the pit of my stomach that I need to get inside, and fast. I spot a mage light lantern as I head further down the street. The dull blue flame flickers invitingly in the darkness, drawing me in. I push the weathered wooden door open, and the light tinkle of the bell that hangs above my head announces my presence. It's empty, only very dimly lit by a few worn-down candles. The shelves stock with curious trinkets and jars of strange-looking ingredients and potions, and an apparently endless collection of dusty old books lines the wall. It smells faintly of incense and a little of... is that ozone? Yeah, like the way the air smells just before a storm. Like lightning. I hear footsteps and turn to find the owner, and I'm taken aback by the figure that appears from behind a pair of well-placed curtains.
I was just closing up, but can I help you?
Aw, he looks very cute. Wide eyes burn into me, brighter than the clearest of emeralds. His aura feels distinctly magical, and I'm very aware that I'm looking at a witch. A powerful one, at that. I'm sorry to intrude, but I appear to be a little lost. I'm looking for the tavern? His gaze falls to my weapons and my sash, his cheeks darkening as realization apparently sets in.
Are you the new hunter?
I offer him a wry smile. Is it that obvious? He returns my smile, and I can't help but feel welcome. At home, even.
Oh, just a little. It's lovely to meet you. The town has been alight with gossip about you this week, you know. My name is Ezra, by the way.
I'm Ethan. It's nice to meet you, Ezra.
Did anyone happen to tell you not to wander the streets when darkness falls? As capable as I'm sure you are, it's not advised. Especially these days.
Because of the murders, I guess. I shake my head, still a little out of sorts from the long journey. Then, much to my embarrassment, my stomach decides to grumble loudly. How rude of me. You must be starving. Take a seat in the back room and I'll quickly fix you something up. You really don't have to do that. I'd better be on my way.
You'll do no such thing. It's too dangerous out there. Please, I insist. It's no trouble, really.
I can hardly refuse when he's looking at me like that. I nod and follow him as he parts the curtains to reveal a cozy living space. There's a small kitchenette with a with a crooked dining table, and nestled in the corner is a tattered but comfy looking sofa. Ezra fills an old kettle and pops it on the stove, igniting the stubborn burner with a grunt before he turns and offers me a smile.
I'm just going to pop upstairs and get you some blankets. I really do insist you stay until morning. You must be exhausted, and
Or
I'd hate to send you out into the darkness knowing.
he pauses, stopping himself.
Just wait here, and please, make yourself comfortable.
I can think of nothing worse than even walking across the street right now, let alone across town, so I swallow a polite protest. Thank you, Ezra. He disappears up a narrow staircase, and my curiosity instantly gets the better of me. A solitary candle burns upon the countertop, colorful, magical little lights hanging from various picture frames and shelves, as well as an abundance of luscious green plants. It's utterly enchanting, just like its owner, and obviously very well loved. There are a generous amount of personal belongings and keepsakes littering every possible nook, and I eye a tiny dish that is overflowing with brightly colored jewelry. Besides, it sits a pile of crumpled parchment. Some of the pages are covered in an elegant, looping script, and others are filled with lovingly rendered portraits. I tentatively reach for one of the sketches at top of the pile, but a loud creak startles me. I turn, as alert as I've always been taught to be, as my fingers edge toward my weapon. The hairs on the back of my neck stand to attention, and I immediately know that there's a creature nearby. That's when I see him. A pair of glowing, fierce golden eyes peeking up at me from previously hidden hatch in the floorboards, and before I can even think about defending myself, it's Finn. I'm pinned to the wall by a firm, cold, and inherently not human arm.
Who the hell are you? Where is Ezra?
His lips curl into snarl, affording me what feels like an incredibly pointed view of a set of long, sharp fangs. If I hadn't already clocked his deathly pallor, there'd be no second guessing what kind of creature I'm dealing with here. Vampire. I know I'd already be quite dead if that was what he truly wanted, and I feel nothing from him other than an overwhelming desire to protect someone or something. His aura is panicked, but distinctly non-threatening, so I decide to relax against his hold. I cautiously raise my hand in surrender, and in the hopes that he'll stand down. We are not taught to harm creatures who have no intent to harm us. It isn't what we stand for. At least, not the honorable hunters. Plus, vampires are the closest thing there is to humans in the Demonology Handbook, and I've met a few reasonable ones in my time. Emphasis on a few, though. He retreats a little, just as I'd hoped, and just enough for me to gather my composure. You don't have to worry, Ezra's safe. His bright, disarming eyes burn into my own, a chill skittering over my skin. He looks like he's searching for something, his dark brows twitching as he studies my face, a thick scar cutting through the one on the right. Something that looks a lot like relief settles upon his face. I can't help but wonder what a vampire is doing sneaking into Ezra's home at this hour.
If you're playing tricks on me, I'll have your head. Understand?
And he looks just so nice. You will have to listen to me simping a little bit, but I'm trying to not do too extensively. I nod once, my hands still raised where I can see I mean no harm. I'm not lying, he's safe. He's upstairs. I tip my chin toward the staircase in the hope that he'll use his head and seek Ezra out with this impressive sense of his. He takes a step back, but he still doesn't seem to trust me. I don't entirely blame him. I know how he feels. The sound of the kettle whistling as it comes to boil distracts him, and he visibly relaxes. His gaze quickly darts to the staircase, then back to me. He steps back, the candlelight illuminating his angular face, all sharp lines and hair as black as the night. He's otherworldly, obviously attractive in that tall, dark and dead way, and his left arm is missing from the shoulders down. In its place is an advanced-looking prosthetic flowing with what looks like incredibly advanced magic. He catches me looking at it and quirks that scared brow.
Like what you see? Sorry, it's not for sale.
I do like what I see. I... Ezra appears from upstairs, his eyes wide as he surveys the sight before him.
Finn? What are you doing here?
Iron fingers curl around Ezra's forearm, almost as though he's checking he's real. His prosthetic thrums brightly as if responding to the touch. I sensed that you felt uneasy. I came immediately. Are you okay? Ezra smiles, covering Finn's hand with his own to gently pat it, a reassuring gesture. The intricate patterns etched into the dark iron pulse like a heartbeat. I was only very briefly startled by the appearance of our new friend here. Right. Finn turns to me and dips his hat in an apology.
I'm sorry about that less than savory introduction, Hunter. Things are a little on edge here lately.
I hope just listening you can also get which characters I try to do my impression of. I'd never have guessed. Ezra shakes his head, clearly amused by my sarcasm.
I'm fine. You really don't need to jump every stranger that passes this way.
That final reassurance seems to make the tension melt from Finn's broad shoulders. Sorry, Ethan. You don't need to be alarmed. He's an ally, I swear it. Even if he doesn't give the best first impression. Finn offers me a genuine, almost soft smile, but he looks guilty. As he should, I suppose. I catch Ezra eyeing me warily, clearly sending my apprehension. It isn't like it's every night you find yourself in a magic shop staring at a witch and apparently friendly vampire. Finn's whole demeanor changed the second he laid eyes on Ezra, and I feel any final traces of fear melting away as he steps forward and offers me his hand. The smile that crosses his lips is mischievous, and cold fingers grip my own in a firm handshake when I reach for him.
It's truly a pleasure to meet you.
His pretty eyes brush over me like a caress, his pupils dilating, and I feel myself swaying, leaning towards him almost unconsciously. There's a soft whisper of muffled thoughts echoing in my mind, and I can't quite tell if they belong to me or him. It's soothing, and whatever he's doing grants me the foresight to see that he most certainly is harmless, that he bears no ill will toward me. Something tells me he now sees me as harmless too.
Finnegan, stop that. It's not polite.
No, he's blushing. Finn closes his eyes briefly, breaking whatever connection he's created with me, and he offers me a killer smile. Literally. Shit, those fangs are really no joke. He must be pushing at least 5 centuries. I've heard of vampires enthralling their victims before kill, but that felt more like a request to be understood. Like he wanted to show me he can be trusted. He exchanges an almost sheepish, knowing glance with Ezra, and I quickly feel my mind clearing itself. It's interesting to see such a powerful creature wither under a witch's glance. Sorry, I'm just checking. He looks at me and our eyes lock, and not once appreciating that he cared enough to put me at ease. Then he's grinning again, wickedly. I hope he didn't hear anything untoward in there. Anyway, Ezra fuzzes with the kettle, pouring me a cup of fragrant tea and offering it to me on a pretty floral saucer. Here, this will help you get a good night's sleep. I take the cup with a nod, both of them staring intently as I take a small sip. It's good, refreshing, and exactly what I need. So Ethan, are you looking forward to becoming part of this shit? Ouch! Ezra elbows him in the rib, throwing him a stern, warning glance, and Finn flinches in a little too dramatically for a big scary creature. Lovely tone.
Do you have any idea what you've gotten yourself into?
It's kind of funny that it doesn't really seem to have everything voiced, but just like some bits and pieces. Well, I hope it's still nice with me voicing. I'm used to a little adventure. I truly hope I can help. Ezra looks defeated, but strangely optimistic. I hope my words sound honest because I really have little choice. I have to help. It's my job after all. My duty. Well, you certainly seem capable enough. Finn grimaces, exchanging a strange look with Ezra, and I feel like they are not telling me something.
My clan and I are at your disposal, should you require any assistance.
Ooh, more vampires. Clan? He nods, but I decide not to press him for details. Yet. I'd definitely like to know how many supposedly good vampires reside here in Lunaris. I offer them both a smile and finish up my tea. Ezra hurries to take the empty cup from me and set it upon the table. He places his hand upon Finn's arm. Finn, Eve needs some rest. Maybe you could just head home? Finn nods, and Ezra follows him as he heads for the hatch. They embrace briefly, and Finn whispers something into Ezra's ear, the witch grinning brightly as he pulls away. Then Finn's warm, golden gaze looks with my own, and he smiles.
Be sure to take care. If you ever need anything, just scream, and I'll come running.
No. He winks, and my traitorous cheeks threaten to warm at the sight of it. He notices and laughs quietly, a deep, comforting laugh that I could most certainly find myself getting used to. It was nice to meet you, Finn. Finn gracefully lowers himself into the hatch, and Ezra stares into the darkness and the door slams shut. He turns and retrieves a tin of biscuits from cupboard, offering them to me and waiting expectantly until I take a handful.
Please don't let our apprehension worry you. I'm sure you're more than capable of getting to the bottom of all this. Some are saying the town has been cursed, but I sense something else. Something bigger.
Well, it's always a terrible night for a curse. Even though we've only just met, I feel like I can trust him. Within moments of my arrival, I could tell that something about this town is off, and I intend to get to the bottom of this mess. I have to live up my apparently impressive reputation, right?
We've lost people, good people, and the investigation seems to have just halted. We don't know what more we can do. Ugh. Look at me getting all emotional when you're probably dead on your feet and desperate to get some sleep.
He quickly gathers himself, forcing a laugh to break the somber mood. Thank you for letting me stay, Ezra. I'll be out of your hair first thing. I stifle a yawn as Ezra turns to fuss with some blankets. I'm thoroughly looking forward to settling up on the sofa, however tiny it may be.
Really, it's no problem at all. Wouldn't dream of letting you wander the streets at this hour, especially after that journey. I'll see you in the morning. If you need anything, just shout.
He heads upstairs and I eagerly remove my boots. The relief is instant when I settle against the cushions, pulling the soft blanket up to my chin. Despite the abundance of questions that currently flood my mind, I swiftly fall into a blissful, dreamless sleep. After I wake and Ezra eagerly makes me more tea, I join him in the shop as I prepare to leave. I wait patiently while he deals with what sounds like a particularly difficult customer, doing my best to eavesdrop as I survey the books that line the walls. Most of them are in languages I don't understand. There's a strange energy in the air, and my senses tell me that Ezra's visitor is also of magical origin.
You really can't just drop by like this and expect me to have what you need right away. These things take time.
That's always your excuse, Ezra. Do you not want me to work hard to save this town?
Ezra sighs, apparently not willing to argue, or maybe he knows he'll lose. The tall figure he's bickering with turns to look at me, and I'm caught off guard by the piercing eyes, the stare cutting me to my core. They scowl, their lips pursed as they turn on a towering heel, like I have a target on my forehead. Ezra looks like he's about to try and say something to stop them, but they wave dismissively over their shoulder. Quite interesting hairstyle. They come to stop before me and steer their gaze, staring me down and study me from head to toe in a slow, pointed track. I register the familiar violet sash that adorned their torso, the very same as mine, and I exchange a quick glance with Ezra. He looks apologetic as he hurriedly emerges from behind the counter to join us. An enforcer then, only who apparently doesn't feel that it's necessary to wear the standard uniform, or maybe they simply think they are too important. They have a commanding presence about them, and I can't help but wonder what rank they hold.
So you're my new subordinate? Interesting.
Gus? Augustus? So this is the infamous Major General Willenheim that I've been assigned to? They are a prolific figure countrywide, and they know for being responsible for one of the best hunters that Ezra has to offer. It will be a true honor to serve under them despite their apparently icy disposition. Historically, enforcers aren't the friendliest bunch. They live to serve just as we do, but they hold a much higher authority and just love to remind us about it. The way Ezra said their name carried a warning, and August scowls at him briefly before turning their attention back to me. I notice how tired they look, their eyes heavy-lidded, and their skin pale, and they even almost sway where they stand. Apparently, Ezra noticed too, a flash of concern crossing his features as he quickly rushes to gather some ingredients from a locked cabinet. It looks like he's done this before, seen them like this before. It's a pleasure to meet you, Enforcer Wallenheim. I am...
Yes, I know exactly who you are. Your arrival has caused quite a stir, and more than a little paperwork.
What a charming fellow. They glance over at Ezra, watching as he breaks off a few sprigs from a neatly wrapped bundle of herbs and pops them into a glass vial. Their foot taps impatiently on the floor, an exasperated scoff falling from their lips as they turn to look at me once again, eyes rolling. So, tell me, Hunter Everflight, are you ready to partake in one of the most baffling missions I've ever come across? Of course, General. I'm looking forward to working with you. They quirk a perfectly sculpted brow, their lips pursed in contemplation.
I don't suffer fools, and I certainly don't tolerate tardiness. If you're capable, we'll get along just fine.
The unrelenting gaze burns into my own, and I swallow thickly, offering them a genuine smile as I can muster under such scrutiny. I think everything will work out. This won't be as effective, but it'll do the job for now. As August eagerly reaches for the vial clutched in Ezra's palm, the witch pulls away and fixes them with a worried gaze.
Please stop doing this to yourself. They're pushing you too far and you know it. You're better than this.
No, we both know that's not true. Ezra surrenders the vial, the vicious violet liquid glowing dully as August takes it with a trembling hand. Ezra squeezes August's fingers before pulling away. He looks impossibly sad. There's always a choice, remember that. August seems lost for words, but manages to maintain their carefully crafted annoyance. They reach for the door with yet another roll of their eyes, pausing briefly to catch my gaze.
I'll see you tomorrow. Don't be late.
We stand outside the shop, the sky bright, but the town somehow still feeling inherently gloomy.
If you ever need anything, you know where to find me. Please don't hesitate to stop by.
Oh, don't worry, you won't get rid of me if you say that. Oh, I wouldn't mind. His smile softens, and I feel incredibly grateful that I stumbled across him. I mean it though, anytime, and be careful. Thank you, Ezra. I bid him farewell, reluctantly leaving the warmth and safety of the shop behind, to follow the rickety old street signs that point me toward the tavern, the place I'll be calling home for the foreseeable future.